everybody, back today doing a video, follow-up video about the Tad Cummings and Elizabeth Thomas situation. So, little update for everybody. So, Tad Cummings and Elizabeth Thomas have been found. She is safe. She's unharmed. She's no bodily harm or anything like that. She's being taken back to Tennessee straight away, as soon as it can, and apparently even on Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's aircraft. So they're actually sending their aircraft to California. California is where they were caught, where he was caught. They were in Northern California. I'll show you on a map right here in a second. They were in Northern California, right up at the border, almost at Oregon. And they were in what's been reported as like a commune. It's in a little area near the town of Cecilville. Anyways, it was pretty crazy because apparently the nearest sheriff station, it was pretty remote. The nearest sheriff station was 2 hours away. And there's still a lot of snow and stuff up there right now. So they it took them almost 2 hours to get through the snow and and all that stuff so that they could get to this commune or whatever where they were at. So I'll go ahead and show you the little map right now, that kind of, so you can see that kind of tracks where they were spotted as they were going across the country to California, and we'll come back again. Okay, so here just shows kind of the progression of the path that they took. So they started in Tennessee. They were even spotted, I believe, in a Walmart on the day that they left, or within a day or two of the day they left, in a Walmart somewhere in Tennessee. But then they were spotted a couple days later in Oklahoma, in a Walmart, going into a Walmart in Oklahoma. And then there was like nothing really. Didn't hear anything for a while. And then now today we got the news that somebody called in a tip from up in Northern California, and that's where Tad Cummings and Elizabeth Thomas were. So that just shows their progression, kind of going across the country there. And they did say they were heading west. So a lot of people tended to think they were headed towards Mexico, but it looks like they headed towards Northern California. I don't know if they maybe ultimately might have been planning to head into Canada, possibly. I don't know, but I don't know. It's kind of, I guess they were just looking for a really secluded place, and that spot in Northern California sounded pretty darn secluded, where it took, 2 hours for sheriffs to get there. So it's not, you can't get much farther off the beaten path than that. So what happened is they apparently rolled into this town, this secluded, kind of off the beaten path town, which has been reported as a commune. So I'm assuming that there's a lot of people there that live there that are living off the grid, sort of thing. And that's probably why he thought it was a prime place to go, because he probably figured there wouldn't be a lot of computers and electronics and stuff like that, and might have been a good place to go. But anyways, somebody noticed the car, and he had removed the license plates from it, but they noticed that it was his Rogue, or looked like the Rogue that he was driving, and it was missing its plates. So that kind of tipped some people off. While he was in town, he went to a local saloon that is in that town or whatever, and he was seeking employment. He wanted to work there, I guess, whatever, cleaning up the saloon or maybe serving drinks, I don't know, but he requested about a job. So that brings this Amber Alert to an end. So with Tad Cummings now in custody, and Elizabeth Thomas is going to be on her way back to Tennessee. So there's one other thing here that bothered me that I heard when I was listening to the podcast about this, that kind of got my attention when I heard it, is that, number one, it was somewhat well known what was going on between Tad and Elizabeth. The one thing I heard that really bothered me was that faculty apparently knew, and their attitude was to be negative to Elizabeth. They called Elizabeth the little tramp. If they suspected anything trampish was going on, why did nobody say or do anything? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to be looking into that a little bit, because that kind of made me go, what the hell? So anyway, so I'm going to be probably looking into that a little bit more. Now, I'm aware of some of the folks out there that are of the opinion that this was like a great romance, that everybody should have just left them alone. Look, people, come on. She was 15 years old. and he was 50. Okay, more than 3 times her age. Okay, she has no experience with the relationships. He was married. He had, number one, his youth when he got to date, and then he was also married. Okay, this guy has a lot more of experience with relationships, and he would totally dominate the situation. So I don't see the great romance. I'm sorry. Especially when you add to the fact that Elizabeth Thomas, all up to this point in her life, basically up until now, she has been homeschooled. So basically her first experience with school was being a freshman in high school. Do you remember kind of how terrifying it was making the transition from middle school to high school? And how when you were making that transition, how kind of intimidating it was? Now imagine if you have no experience with the public school system and you're getting thrown in to that. Okay? So it doesn't, I mean, it looks like to me like the teacher, Mr. Cummings, took advantage of the fact that the girl was probably, looking for friends. She was intimidated. She was vulnerable. So, I mean, I just want to point that out for the people that are out there saying that this is the great romance, and all that. So, just think if you think that, you should at least know those facts. So, anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. As I said, Tad Cummings is in custody, and Elizabeth Thomas is on her way back home to Tennessee. The police and all the law enforcement agencies and everybody just want to say that they can't thank the public enough, that it's because the public was out there looking and keeping their eye out and called in the tip that eventually led to the law enforcement finding Mr. Cummings and Miss Thomas. So that's about it for this video, and good news. And the next step is going to be a bit harder because obviously there's going to be some acclimation for Elizabeth Thomas. It's she's gonna probably need some time to really come to grip with things, but that's on her, it's for her to do personally and take and with her loved ones. So anyways, that's about it. We'll see you guys later.